Okay, so we have a new episode of Legends and Leaders, and today it's great to have Fabien here. So you've been behind a company that's been very innovative and forward-thinking with immersive technology and creating adventures and experiences that maybe some, could never have done without the technology. And, one of those experiences was, done based on something 200 years ago in a very unique time frame in Paris. And so you're taking people and letting them live history and be a part of it in a very fun and engaging way. And now you've got a new place that you're opening up in New York City, which I'm sure we'll talk about as well. So I'm excited to have you here and to get into your story.
Yeah, thank you, Ben, for having me.
Awesome. So how did your interest in the space of immersive tech and building these these exhibitions out with these stories included, how did this passion of yours begin?
So I think it started. It's a difficult question because concretely it started during my studies. I studied basically video game technologies, and I did that with my partner. So we co-founded the company right after our studies, and so we learned video game technologies, but for use cases that were not necessarily games. So that's how we started to imagine worlds, use cases, characters to maybe answer different needs than just gaming. And that's how we started the company. We were an agency at the time, specialized in those technologies. Immersive technologies, I would say. Immersive technologies use the video game technology. So this is how we started, and that we met a lot of different companies, clients who wanted to use this kind of new tools to answer their needs. That can be training, that can be communication, that can be education. And so since 2005, we've made quite a few virtual reality experiences, because at one point we really focused on virtual reality. This is what really was interesting to us, being able to completely being immersed in a world.
Mm-hmm. So, you mentioned that this was a passion for quite some time. How did you think about crafting an adventure? How do you go about that generally, and taking people into an experience that they haven't had yet and making them feel like they're a part of it? What goes into your thought process there?
Yeah, so there are many ways to create an immersive experience, and during those years of creating immersive experiences, we try to find what's working, what's not working, what is appealing, what are the constraints, what are the possibilities of virtual reality. And that's how we came up with a format that we call the Immersive Expeditions. And Immersive Expeditions are actual adventures in a complete immersion, where you can travel through time and space. And you do that in a very specific way, a unique way in virtual reality, by physically moving into this world. So we are in very big spaces. I would say around 10,000 square feet, where you are free to move with other people as well. So this is something you can live and share with your friends and family. And in your virtual reality headset, you are either in Egypt 4,500 years ago, or you are in Paris 150 years ago, during the anniversary of the first Impressionist exhibition, for example. Those are ones of our immersive expeditions.
And why did you decide to choose these? Were these just because people are fascinated by the pyramids, and that's something that a lot of interest is in? How did you land on these specific ones, like Paris and pyramids?
Yes. So right now we produced 4 different immersive expeditions. One is about the Cathedral Notre Dame, its history, its construction, and so on. Second one is Horizon of Khufu, about the Great Pyramid of Giza. Third one is Life Chronicles, about the history of life. So in this one, we go back billions of years ago to understand how life began and evolved. And the fourth one is Tonight with the Impressionists, which brings us back to the first Impressionist exhibition. And how we choose, we try to find a topic that is universal enough, so people from all over the world can be inspired and interested to come and see this kind of new experience. So all over the world, but also for every ages. So we have children, we have old people, we have old families, colleagues, friends. It's really for everyone, and I think it works very well, especially how we can share this experience, how we can live and share this experience with our loved ones.
Mm-hmm. That's a good angle. I mean, it's the bigger, the broader the audience you have, the more people that can enjoy it, and the bigger the business could be.
That's true.
So with Life Chronicles, right, visitors are going back like 3.5 billion years, to Earth's history. They're around the dinosaur age type of, that period in time. How do you really create that as something that's accurate, to what that time period was, but also immersive and engaging to others that, that can bring them into it?
Yeah, that's a sum of different things. But one of the first thing we do when we want to produce an immersive expedition is we partner with experts. In the case of Life Chronicles, we co-produced this experience with the Museum of Natural History of Paris, and we worked with their paleontologists heavily, and their team gave us a lot of documents, also validated every models we created, every animation also, because as you can imagine, no one have seen any dinosaurs move for real, or any other species we are showing inside the Life Chronicles. But the paleontologists have a way to imagine, based on their some kind of scientific accuracy, how they moved because of the muscles of that they found in the fossils and so on and so on. So it was a very long process, but you can be sure that in every immersive expedition, everything that you can see has been validated, curated by an expert or several experts, and so it is very accurate. And so we try to bring this accuracy and this knowledge in a specific way. We try to mix that with emotions, with sensations. And so when you do an immersive expedition, you learn a lot of things without even realizing it.
Yeah, I think that's what's so great, is that you're not even having to be as active in the learning, but you become so a part of the experience that you learn what really happened in an engaging and fun way. And that's one of the strong suits that you guys have. So, specifically with the Impressionist expedition that you have, there's a way to really almost interact with these artists in that time period. Can you just talk a bit about how you thought about creating that type of interaction?
Yes, so in the Tonight with the Impressionists, it's really based on humans, on characters. We meet those painters who at the time were not famous at all. It was really the beginning. They were a bit of expelled from the real exhibition of the time, and so they were creating their own little exhibition. Now they are extremely famous all over the world. They are impressionist paintings, of course, but at the time they were not. And so we meet those painters, artists, and also other characters who helped them at the time, and we can talk to them. We can hear them speak about their problems, but also their hope and what they want to achieve with their art. And I think what we're trying to do here, but also in every immersive expedition, is that we are trying to bring a context, because usually in a museum you see objects, or also in a monument you see some architecture, but you don't see it, how it was used, in what purpose, by whom, and so this is what we're trying to bring. And so by meeting the characters, entering the monument at the time they were constructed, we understand them much better, and we kind of create this emotional link with them, and I think it gives us even more the envy to go then to see them for real. So that's something we do.
That's interesting. And you also like remove the backpacks for VR, right? Like you guys were very early on in doing that. How were you able to accomplish that?
So yeah, that's a technical question. We started creating the Immersive Expedition based on other experiences we did before. And each time we were at the very limit of technology. That was what was available to us in terms of equipment, of device. And when we launched the Immersive Expedition with Eternal Notre Dame, we could not do standalone headset experiences. We had to use a backpack, which is a powerful computer, and some solutions arise in several months after, and so we were able to optimize our content so it can run on just a virtual reality headset without a computer. And so now in every of our different venues, it's a completely standalone headset, so you don't have to wear a backpack, and so you are even freer to move inside this very big space. That's very important because you have to completely forget about the device. That's very important. You have a 45-minute adventure, and you really feel you are inside somewhere. So in Horizon of Khufu, for example, you enter the corridors and chambers of the pyramid. You can see the visitors, ducking to enter the king chamber, because this is what you do in real life as well. And so it's important that the equipment does not limit this kind of physical interactions with the virtual world.
Yeah, so it makes sense. You're just trying to remove all the barriers to make you feel as immersed as possible in this, and then you enhance that visually too.
Yes, and I think more than that, we want, if we want to create like our ambition behind the Immersive Expedition is trying to create a new standard for entertainment. And that's not just creating a format like the Immersive Expedition. It's also creating all the backbone, the technical backbone. And so that's how we created a software platform that allows to, for example, welcome a very large flow of visitors in one dedicated venue. We have the record number of visitors in virtual reality, in free roaming. Wow. in a venue. So more than 100 people are at the same time walking inside the space, and that's so that's very important to us. We're trying to at the same time create the technology, create the content, and create the network of venues to showcase this content. So that's a whole thing. If we want to create this standard, it's important to invest in those three axes.
Mm-hmm. What was that like, having 100 people in the same virtual reality? Like, how did that experience go?
It usually goes very well. It's actually quite funny to see because you see all those people wearing a virtual reality headset. It's quite dense, and they're all moving, and they're all um, avoiding each other, exactly like if they were not equipped with a virtual reality headset. Because this is a part of our technology, our platform. But it's still quite funny to see that, and even people walking quite fast, they avoid each other, and it feels extremely natural.
That's just funny because they're all, I mean, they're all in reality, but then they're all virtual in the same place.
Exactly. That's also part of our thing is so of course they avoid each other because they can see each other as avatars inside the experience, and their position is shared with everyone, but they are not all in the same I would say dimension or content. In sometimes in one venue you can have different content at the same time in the same space, meaning that you can have a group inside the Pyramid of Khufu, and another group walking past them, following a dinosaur, for example. But they don't know they don't know that other groups are elsewhere.
How do you power all this stuff?
So yeah, it's really powered by our platform. This is a huge investment that we're making for several years now. We did some of fundraising to be able to do that, and our development team is very good, very successful, and this brings certainly the highest value to our experience, even if it's not visible directly by the visitors. This is what makes it possible, our platform.
Mm-hmm. And you raised capital to build the technology out. Like, what kind of technology was needed?
Yeah, so we were an agency, and we wanted to pivot to this new business model using the same using our experience, using the same team, using the same technology, but we needed to raise money to be able to invest in the development of the platform, the creation of the content, and the development also of the network of diffusion. And that's so how and why we did this fundraising. And so today we are in 15 different venues worldwide, and we are expanding fast. We are opening one venue almost every month this year. Even more than that, I think. In average, it's more than one every month. Yeah, so the money we raised is going into these three big axes at the moment.
And how do you effectively market the experiences to people who, like, a lot of people are aware of the subject, but how do you market it in a new environment to get people to come to your place? Like, what are some of the techniques that you use?
So our strategy is really to communicate on the promise that we're going to experience in an immersive expedition. We are not communicating on the technology at all, because what's important is what you get by doing the immersive expedition. You travel in space, you travel in time, you meet characters, you share, you learn a lot, and you share all of this with your friends and family. This is what we want the visitors to understand when they see the immersive expeditions.
Mm-hmm. And what are you doing different this time now with the new expedition that you're going to be having in New York City? Like, what do you want people to take away from it, and what's kind of different and unique about it?
So we're starting in New York City with the Horizon of Khufu. So this is the same content, even if it evolves. This it's not exactly the same as it was before. And we made it even better. We open in New York with our partner Eclipso, who's the operator on site. What we bring, both of us, Excurio and Eclipso, is really a full experience. When you arrive on site, when you are equipped with your virtual reality headset, when you do this adventure, and when you even exit the adventure, you have even more information about Egypt. I think it's a whole experience that can attract like a lot of different people, people who are interested in Egypt, of course, but also in any kind of adventure. And that I think that this is what works very well. And so we are eager to bring that to New York City.
And just the last question I have, where do you see your long-term vision now? Like, what are some of your short-term goals to kind of get there? And how do you see the next 5 to 10 years playing out?
So I think we are at the very, very beginning. If in our ambition, in our objective, as I said, we want to create a new standard for cultural entertainment. And I think we can compare that to cinema. I think we are like cinema was 100 years ago, where it was still a very small thing, and it was not like very developed compared to now, of course. And I think we are at this moment, and so we have to develop a lot of different things, a lot of content, a lot of venues, and the technology to back that up, and to make everything evolve, and also create this ecosystem, because at the moment we are the only ones creating immersive expedition, but we also want other studios to be able to create their own immersive expedition and benefit from our network of venues. And so that means also opening our technology to other studios. We are in the process to do that right now. That's very exciting. There is still so many things to do. So we are very almost at the starting point right now. I cannot imagine where we will be in 10 years from now, but I think at the moment we are doing quite good.
Well, thanks for taking the time and doing this. I'm excited to see how this new expedition that you do in New York City goes. I think that we've already done with storytelling and making a lot of what's really important in history accessible and understandable to people is really great. And I know that the visuals are amazing. So I look forward to seeing what's next.
Thank you very much, Ben.